Well, and a very warm welcome back to the channel. I am back in the UK. As you can probably tell, I'm wearing long sleeves and thermals and stuff again. And I'm back in my local patch. So behind me you can see our local village, Windmill. Within the last few months, so possibly somewhere between 6 and 12 months ago, the sails were put back on Windmill. So for quite a long time, it was like a pepper pot without the sails on there. So with the sails back on, now they've been refurbished and restored, I'm hoping to capture the Milky Way behind it. You can hear this is right on the edge of the road into the village, so unfortunately I get car headlights every now and again, but hopefully we can get some decent shots over this tonight. Now, the whole night could be completely thrown into disarray because over the last few days the sun has been spitting off all sorts of stuff towards the Earth. We've had coronal mass ejections, we had a filament that lifted off and came in our direction the other day. All of that stuff is beginning to hit the Earth, disturb the Earth's magnetic field, and hopefully create some aurora down here at mid-latitudes. Now, one of my dreams is to capture the northern lights over the windmill here, or behind the windmill here. It's sort of, you can get some compositions that sort of bring it out. A few months ago, I caught the tail end of an aurora display, nothing to write home about whatsoever. So I'm hoping that with all the aurora data so far tonight, we could be in for something quite special. And I really hope I capture a shot that I've longed to get for quite some time. So without further ado, I'm going to start getting set up. I'm going to fire off a few shots now to the north just to see whether we've got the first hints of some northern lights poking through. As you can tell, it's not quite dark yet, but potentially, such as the intensity of what's coming our way, the aurora might even punch through some of that twilight, which will be absolutely awesome. If it's not showing yet, I'm going to try and grab some foregrounds while I can. The foregrounds will actually be from the field next door. I've got permission to take some shots from there. And then what I'll probably do is come back to where I am here to take some tracked sky shots. That way I'm in the right place to capture the aurora behind the windmill if it kicks off later on. I don't want to have to be sort of walking around, you know, to the exits of the field here and then missing the whole show. So let's get on with it. That's really frustrating. If you watched my last episode, my second episode from Spain, you'll remember that I was having problems with my Samyang 24mm. The aperture blades somehow got stuck, which meant it was permanently on f/22, which is a really, really tiny aperture, useless for astrophotography. I thought I'd fixed it this afternoon, but I've obviously messed up reassembling it, and this lens is unusable tonight, which is really frustrating. It's my fastest lens. If we've got aurora kicking off, I want to have as wide an aperture as possible to get as quick a shot as possible, shorter exposure as possible, so that I can have a shorter interval as possible between shots and get some really nice movement in there. So I'm going to have to change over to the 14mm. Annoyingly, these things happen. At least I've got that in my armoury as well. Try again. No. Okay, so that's better. Right. Okay, I think we've got some purple in the sky there. I think we could be on to some aurora. I might get the other camera out as well, take a longer focal length shot, but I think we're on. Just had a red alert, we are definitely on. Right, let's get this bad boy going. Okay, so we have got aurora on camera here. It's particularly bright out on the Norfolk coast at the moment, but I'm definitely getting purple tinges behind the windmill here. Unfortunately, if you might be able to see over there, there's a few cloud banks that are passing through at exactly the wrong time. So hopefully they'll get through very quickly. But I'm time-lapsing away on the modified Canon 6D 14mm. I'm at f2.8. I'm taking 4-second exposures with a 1-second interval at ISO 1600, I think. Might be a little bit dark, but we'll see. We'll just have to see. I'm about to set up the other camera with the 50mm, and I'll probably do that for a little bit further away. And I can use f1.8 on that, so hopefully a much shorter shutter speed and get a bit more of that aurora action and the motion in it as well. I just need these clouds to pass. They couldn't be in a worse position at the moment, but hopefully they will disappear. But really exciting. So I'm just reviewing the shots on the 50mm here. You can probably see behind it's completely clouded up. There's a bit of a gap far north and over to the east. But coming in from the southwest at the moment is a lot of thick cloud, which I think is going to scupper a lot of the rest of the evening. But I'm not sure I care, because that is a shot I've been waiting for. In focus, that's good. We've got some lovely pillars in there. I wish maybe I'd done a time lapse, but I've had to take this from up on the road, so a time lapse wasn't really possible. You'd have cars going past all the time, and there's not really a lot of space up there to park the tripod. There's a bridge that goes over the Cambridgeshire Guided Busway, which is like a tramway, just down here, so there's not a lot of space to play with. Maybe I just shouldn't be greedy, but having a time lapse with pillars this big would have been amazing. You can see greens, you can see purples. It's just really, really cool. so you can see a lot of cloud, but I think that adds to this. Certainly tells the story of the evening. I don't think I'm going to be doing any Milky Way photography tonight, so I don't think you mind, do you? Hopefully at the end of this you'll get to see that time lapse. Hopefully I get to convey just how exciting it is when you get this sort of thing happening. I've seen some lovely pictures up in Norfolk, some beautiful images, really colourful on camera. Unfortunately a lot of this cloud's probably going their way, but they're going to enjoy the show while I can't. Awesome. I might just fire a few shots in some other directions and see if I can pick anything else up. Okay, so I think we're going to call that a night tonight. Whilst it has started to clear up a bit, there's still more cloud coming from the southwest, and the Earth's magnetic field has gone back north again, so what's called the BZ is headed north, and that really has just lifted the auroral arc away from those mid-latitudes and is now much further north. So there's not a lot showing on camera right now. There was pretty much nothing showing on the unmodified camera a second ago. Very little, maybe a little bit of purple still back on the modified camera. So I've ended the time lapse there. But what an evening. I don't think I'm going to set up and do any Milky Way shots now, so this is a completely different evening than I'd originally planned. But I think that is one of the lessons of Nightscape photography. You've always got to be ready to change your plans to suit whatever the night sky is doing. And if you love photographing the northern lights, as I do, and if you live at mid-latitudes like I do, you've just got to take your opportunities when they arise. It's very rare to have a night where all of the data is looking good, when it's relatively clear, although it has clouded over a bit, and when there's not a bright moon. And all that's got to coincide with actually being available to do this. You've just got to grab those opportunities. I'm super chuffed with the way the night has turned out. Looking forward to seeing the images on the computer later on when I take them and edit them. Looking forward to seeing this time lapse as well. So thanks very much indeed for coming along for the ride. Bit different to my usual videos, but hopefully this has been a lot of fun and gives you a sense of some of the excitement that happens out in the field sometimes. So look forward to seeing you on the next video, possibly back at the same location to capture the Milky Way, which of course is what I planned to do this evening originally. But thanks very much indeed. Let's wait for that car to go past. Thanks very much indeed for coming along. It'd be great to hear your comments. Perhaps you saw the aurora tonight, perhaps you photographed the aurora tonight. Do let me know, we'd love to hear from you. And look forward to seeing you on the next one. Take care.